guys, and welcome back to another video. Today I'm showing you how I feel my baby and know what position my baby is in. Lots of people have asked me, how do you do that? How do you know that your baby is head down or where your baby is positioned? So today I'm just going to show you what I do to see what position my baby is in, how I know what the position is or what I'm feeling. When she was smaller, it was still hard for me to feel her. As she's getting bigger, it's getting easier and better to determine what kind of body parts I'm feeling. I also felt it on different women during my studies to become a physical therapist. When I worked in the hospital in the maternity ward, I was able to test it on other women, so I have a little bit of a feeling for it, but today I'm just going to show you what I do with my own body, my own baby, and let's jump right into it. So for knowing the position of my baby, when I lay down, I try to prop up my head a little bit. Everything else is flat. You can put your legs flat, but I like to just prop them up a little bit because then it relaxes my stomach muscles. So then I start with pushing down on my belly, starting on the top. I push down, and immediately right here I feel something really hard and round. That's her bum. And I hold it with one hand, and then I try to feel, oh, right here, something really long and hard that goes down. That's her back. And it goes all the way down here until right here there's something else that is kind of roundish. So I try to grab it with both of my hands, go down all the way that I can, and then I can still wiggle it around because she's not fully engaged into my pelvis yet. So I can wiggle her head around. That's her head. Sometimes when the baby is upside down or like head up, you can feel that head up here and you can wiggle it. Because her neck is flexible, you can of course wiggle the head, but the bum is fixed, so you cannot really wiggle that. My girl has not been head up for a long time now, so I don't know really what it feels like on myself. But that's what it's supposed to feel like, so I know that she's head down and I can feel her head down there. When I go to the side then, sometimes, right, like she goes all the way down to here, I can like move her up still, right here. I can move her bum and her whole body right here. She usually is on my right side because on my left side I have my placenta. When I feel right on my left side, it's so squishy and soft, and there's usually nothing there because it's completely covered with the placenta. Sometimes I do feel her legs or hands right there, and when you catch that, you can tell when she pulls it away. So sometimes I'm grabbing that, but right now she's kind of sleeping, so she's not moving much. So that's how I feel her when I'm laying down, but you can also do it sitting up, and I will show you that now. So when I sit down, I basically do it just the same. I push from the top, and immediately right here I feel her heart, bum. Here I don't feel anything. Oh yeah, there's her leg. She keeps pulling it in. But here's her bum. So then I try to go to the side, but there's nothing here. So I go to the front a little more right here. It's really hard, and yes, that's her back. Going right here. And it goes all the way down. And when I move my hands from both sides, yep, I can feel her head. And I can still wiggle it around because she's not set in my pelvis yet. Yep, that's her head. So then I try to push her to the side so she can't move, to see if I can feel her. Oh yeah, up here you can feel her legs. Oh, now she's pushing against me. Hi, sweetie. That's her leg right here. But her hands are like on the inside, so I cannot feel her hands right now. Because she's sleeping. She's just moving a little bit. When I'm pushing her too much, she gets annoyed. So that's what I basically do. Sitting up, it's pretty much the same when I want to check, okay, which way is she positioned, then I just check really quick. That's what I do sitting up. Another way to kind of tell the position of your baby is basically what doctors do as well. They they separate your belly in 4 different parts, meaning they make a line down on your belly button like this, and one that goes straight across like that. So you have 4 parts of your belly, 2 upper parts and 2 lower parts. They also do that when you have like stomach pain. They ask you, okay, where is your stomach pain? And then you point, and then they kind of know the organs, which position they're in, and then they can determine what is wrong with you. And that's something else you do and use during pregnancy. And for example, for me and my baby, some movements. We're speaking about movements this time. So when she gets the hiccups, I usually feel them here, down here. Then the belly is jumping right here in a really rhythmic jumping motion, basically. So, and since hiccups come from the lungs right here, which is the upper part of the body, I can tell, okay, her upper part of the body is down here, which makes sense when she's head down and on the right side most of the time, that her lungs are around here, and that's why I have the jumping motion and feeling right here. Same with her hands. When you can tell if it is the hands or the feet later on in pregnancy, even better than like earlier, because when you feel the hands moving, they're kind of like the wiggly, tickling sensation, kind of like when you tickle yourself like this a little bit. As for my girl, on every ultrasound, even right from the beginning when she had arms, she would put her hands and arms right in front of her face. So they were always up here, covering her face, in her face. So when I feel her fingers and hands moving, I usually feel her down here, sometimes more on the left side, and sometimes more like in the back side. So it is always this ticklish little feeling. So I know those are her hands. The bigger movements, which can, especially when you're farther along like I am, the big punching, or I don't know how to describe it, like the little bit harder and more painful punches that you feel. Usually I'm feeling them right now. I'm feeling them up here on my left side, sometimes a little bit up here more in the middle, which also makes sense because my little one is mostly on her right side since my placenta is on the left side, and sometimes she pushes her bum up into my ribs, and then you have this really round feeling up here. So that's where I feel her bum. And then her feet are like kicking me up in my left ribs. Sometimes on the inside right here, depending on what position she is in. But to explain it even more, I wanted to have a baby doll to show you what I'm actually talking about. I do not have one though. I will link you some videos down below that have a baby doll. I actually taught myself basically with other videos as well, so I will just link them for you down below. You can watch those as well, and then you have kind of like a better idea and a better picture of what am I talking about, why is the back in the front and the bum up there, and what the position the baby actually is in, so you can visualize it much more. But that's basically how I can tell what position my baby is in. So yeah, it's basically lots of teaching yourself and feeling, being patient, trying it out, and sometimes you can feel it real well, sometimes you cannot. Sometimes even I'm not sure what position my baby is in, and I'm like, holy cow, how is she laying? How's her leg down there, and her arms too? Like, I don't know, babies are really mobile in there. They move a lot. So it's just fun to see sometimes what position she is in, and something fun to try during pregnancy while you're waiting anyways. It does sometimes cause contractions, which is totally normal, and they shouldn't be painful. Then you just take your hands away, let the contractions fade away, and then usually you're ready to go. You just relax. That's nothing to worry about. That is totally okay. So don't be scared when all of a sudden you have a contraction, a Braxton Hicks contraction after that. So yeah, that's it for my video today. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.